Good evening. Thank you so much for hanging out with the Johnsons on this Friday, May 21st, May 21st,
Yeah.
2001. I'm hanging out tonight with my best friend, my lover, my co-partner, my everything. Thank you so much. Chilling out with my boo. How you doing, Miss Johnson?
So we gonna get booed up.
Get booed up on her. Well, LMA got a song says, right?
But sing a little bit.
No.
Please.
No.
Can I just hear you sing a little bit of it? Just a little bit.
Yes.
Booed up. You gonna get booed up.
Yeah, we need to share it to our personal page. I think something that we're not out there. So
Again?
yes.
You got to be kidding me. All right, I'll do it.
You might want to just go ahead and it's your choice.
Sometimes it takes a minute.
Let's see here. Let's see.
Here we are.
Is there?
There's
Cool.
something wrong with your phone.
All right. Maybe my phone got the blues.
Hello.
So much. Thank you so much for joining in. Who's out there tonight, Melvin?
Let us know. It looks like Sandra Williams.
Thank
Hey,
you
Miss
so
Sandra.
much for checking in, Sandra.
How you doing?
Our cousin down in Mississippi. Chris, I think Sandra lives down in Mississippi somewhere.
How far is
It's
did you
near
say
Crenshaw.
Crenshaw?
Crenshaw. I think it's
How
Crenshaw.
far is that
somewhere
from
down
from
there.
Como?
Maybe only a few minutes.
Como, Mississippi.
You know what, man? A lot of exciting things is going on because we have so many 2021 graduates. You know,
Yeah, we actually been going to a lot of
a
graduations.
lot of graduations.
But you know what? The good thing is, folks are actually, now the schools are allowing them to have graduations and stuff. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and
That's exciting.
listen, congratulations to all the 2021 graduates out there. This is life begins now. You no longer have your parents and grandmama, granddad, uncles, aunties, mama, daddy, all them. You don't have to make some decisions for yourself.
So they grown now, running.
They almost yeah, really.
You know how they want to use the word grown?
Well,
What does the word grown to you mean?
grown to me means, when I was in high school and, college, grown to me was maybe being able to do what I want to do on my own, right? Being able to do whatever I want to do on my own. But now grown has another meaning. The responsibility that comes with being grown.
What's their responsibility, Ryan?
That responsibility is to pay your own rent, pay your own house note, pay your own insurance, pay your own
car note,
pay your own cell phone bills.
Yeah.
I got a couple of grown people. I got a couple of grown people that I'm actually, still paying phone bills for.
Take Alicia. He calling y'all out.
I don't know. Listen,
They grown, Ryan.
they are grown. I got two grown. With Melody, I got two other grown women that I'm paying cell phone bills for. Thank you so much. Who was out there? Type in the comment section. Your name, so we can see who's out there.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a lag on.
Yeah.
On
For
Facebook
some reason,
or
something's going on tonight.
You know what, Ryan? It's nothing going on. We just need to.
Just calm down.
We just don't know what we're doing. But that's okay. We still are having fun. So that's a good thing.
And then the thing about it is that, like I said, when we talk about it, it'll bless somebody.
Hey, so let's do a recap from last week.
Okay.
So, last week we talked about, is it okay to remain friends with your ex, right?
Yes.
So we talked about that last week, and, we got into some discussion about it, and the majority of the folks that were on the live basically was saying that, once they're done, they're done. So it's really nothing else to talk about. And so, they've moved on. either in a marriage or moved on in a new relationship.
Yes.
So, just recap on what we talked about.
I think that, one thing, hey, Cheryl, how are you doing out there?
Hey, Cheryl.
Daniel Peck, how are you doing,
Hey,
sir?
Daniel.
One thing, I think from last week, we can recap on is that, every situation is different.
Yeah.
There are some situations where, you have to be in some type of communication with your ex. But I just think once it goes, if there's not a child involved or children involved, you don't really have to really deal with, them anymore, because you have to set those boundaries.
Yeah.
So the thing about
what's the point of clinging on, right?
Yeah,
if you want to move forward, what's the point of clinging to that old?
Yeah.
I used to hear this saying that someone used to say, out with the old, in with the new.
And the thing about it is that the new thing, the things that you want to be able to birth and go forward, you just can't have all that stuff.
Baggage.
We're gonna do one night on leaving. We did it.
I think we did one on
baggage. Leaving the baggage behind.
Baggage will weigh you down.
Baggage will weigh you down.
Baggage will keep you from seeing what's in front of you.
Yeah. So Mel, I think that is a very true statement, and I think we can go ahead.
All right. Sure.
What, another 2 or 3 minutes?
No, I think we can move on.
Cool. Let's go.
All right. So the topic for tonight is it's not too late. So, Ronnie, what were you thinking when you thought about this topic?
When I thought about the topic, it's not too late. It's sometimes we look at, it might be someone out there in Facebook land or on YouTube or wherever you're going to watch this broadcast at. You might be in your 30s, you might be in your late 20s, you might be in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. It's not too late to accomplish or do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You might have a dream of wanting to learn how to swim. It's not too late to do that.
Let's talk about that.
Go. Let's talk a little, because the thing about it is that in life, a lot of us grew up in situations where we didn't have some of the luxuries that other, individuals might have had. Right. So now you're in a situation where you're able to experience some of those luxuries. You got to take advantage of it. And I applaud you and some of your friends for they're taking swimming lessons right now.
Yep, we are. And it's very fun facing our fears. Because the reality is we are facing our fears. But you know what? It's fun because you feel like you are accomplishing. So this is going to be my second time taking the swimming lessons. Last summer I took them, and I used to be afraid to get in the deep end of the water, right? But last summer I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. And I jumped in the deep end. I jumped in 10 feet.
Yeah. And
I started, just trying, right?
Yeah.
And so the thing about it is, I think God has placed on the inside of us everything that we need, right?
Sure.
But at the end of the day, it's up to us to tap into it. So we have the capabilities to swim. We have the capability to do anything that we want to do or accomplish. Yeah. It's just facing your fear and doing it.
Yep. And then one thing about fear I learned is that what fear does is that it's going to always show you the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of seeing the best of something or the best of it, it shows you the worst. And before you ever take that attempt or take that step of faith, a lot of people be already defeated in their mind before they ever take it. So it's not too late. What we're talking about, hey Tasha, hope your day is going well. When it comes to facing your fears and not too late, it's not too late to go back to school. Like we stated earlier, there are so many kids out there, graduating from kindergarten, graduating from junior high, graduating from high school, graduating from college. You can do whatever you want to do. And listen, don't put a limit on yourself by a number.
That's right.
And a lot of times they say, oh, you're 30 or 40, 50. You can do whatever you put your mind to it, but you just have to have the willpower to be able to step into that thing.
So, how many of you have actually laid down your dreams and just basically set them to the side because you feel like, oh, I haven't accomplished them yet, so I think it's too late, and you just kind of set that thing on the shelf? Is that really what you want to do? I mean, God has placed so much on the inside of you. Why would you place your dreams to the side? Why would you not fulfill your purpose in life? Why would you not, accomplish all that you can do? You know what? Something inside of you is for someone else.
Yes.
But are you willing to, tap into it and give out everything that God has given you? Because there are some things inside of you that only you can give to someone else.
Yeah. And the thing, as Melody was stating, that thing, that gift, whatever it is inside of you, somebody's waiting on that.
That's right.
It's so many of us are holding the keys to someone else's blessing in our possession.
Ooh, I like that.
And once you release that thing, not only you're able to help them unlock into their purpose or their destiny, but you're able to, because when that individual unlocks their door, now other individuals and other people are able to walk into it, and their blessings will be unlocked. So when we talk about never, it's not too late. It's not too late. Write it down. Why do you start somewhere?
Why do you think we sometimes allow fear to stop us? Is it that we're afraid to make mistakes or afraid to? What do you think that the issue is that keep us from going forward?
I personally believe that it could be things that happened when you was younger. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It could be things that we went through, experience we had as children. Where one teacher, I remember when I was in school, there was one teacher stated, she said, did pretty well in school, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one day I came home and talked with my mom and my auntie Gladys, and my teacher had literally said, "Hey, you're dumb."
She said,
she said,
I need to meet her.
No.
I need to meet her.
But when I went home,
when I
went home and explained that to my mom and auntie, they corrected that. Just imagine though, if I leave it alone. Stop it. Listen, just imagine though, if I had taken ownership and really believed that, but my mom and auntie and loved ones said, "Hey, no, because we're doing well. I was doing well in school."
You know what? Another thing, Ronnie, is, and you brought up a good point, because sometimes, just say if people grow up in dysfunctional homes,
yes.
right? And so that parent or someone else may have spoken negative words over, those individuals. You have to basically allow God to erase all of that stuff out of your mind and know that God has equipped you with everything that you need to accomplish your goals. That, if someone says something negative about you, don't believe that lie, because that's all it is. Because God's words are never negative. So if anything is being said over you negative, it does not come from God. Yeah. It comes from the enemy. And we already know that he is the father of lies. So
the enemy is the father of lies.
Yeah, the enemy is the father of lies. And God is true, right? Yeah. So God would never say anything to us negative, because we are created in his image. So there's nothing negative about us. Now, we can take on some negative qualities if we allow ourselves to be fooled by the enemy, right? But overall,
Well, the thing about it is that you made a good point when you said that if we allow ourselves and receive those lies, it could be from a past relationship.
Exactly.
It could be from someone that have, you dated 5-10 years ago, and they told you, "Oh, you too fat. Your hair ain't long enough, or your skin is not light enough." And you set up and you take ownership of that stuff. Now you're living your entire life off one lie from someone that their opinion really didn't matter in the first place.
There is something that Leisha says that I really like. She said, "I'm going to be where I'm celebrated and not where I'm tolerated." And I love that, because the thing about it is, what somebody else might consider trash may be another person's treasure.
Yes.
So that's why you can't get caught up in somebody else's opinion, because the thing about it is, hurt people always hurt or want to hurt other people. So if somebody is hurt, if somebody is negative, if somebody is bitter, if somebody is insecure, and they're dealing with all those types of things, then guess what? They're going to want the other person to be miserable along with them. So just because they said those things, it could be a reflection of how they feel about themselves, but it does not mean that that's who you are.
And Cheryl said, made a great point there. She said, we must see ourselves the way God sees us. And if you really, really want to know how God looks at you and what God thinks about you, just get in his word.
Yeah.
I heard someone say this other day, with the Bible, it's God's love letter to his bride, which is the church.
Yeah.
And so if you're feeling defeat, if you're going through something, saying, you know what, just say if you're bound and just seem like you're not advancing in life at a rate that you're looking for, find it in the Bible where God said, you know what, he was above all things that will prosper and be in good health. Find a scripture said what promotion does not come from man, what promotion comes from God. So you take that word. If you're feeling down, just feel like you're not beautiful enough.
Yeah.
Just look and see what God says about you.
That's right. You are beautiful. That's right.
There is hope. And it's one thing that says what 1 John 5. It says, listen, this is the confidence we have in him.
Yes.
If we pray anything according to his will, he heareth us.
That's
so
right.
It's never too late.
That's right.
You have to get your energy back. You got to get back on your feet and continue to tread. I think about the turtle and the rabbit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The thing about it is, many times the rabbit started off what? Extremely fast.
Mm-hmm.
But the turtle might be going really, really slow, but he's still making effort.
Yeah.
The race is not given to the swift or the strong, but what?
The one that endures to the end.
So
right.
I challenge you tonight is to keep focused. It's never too late. You might want to start a business.
Yeah.
Start that business.
Yeah.
There are some things that you might want to do with your husband or wife. Travel. Build a business together. Do ministry. Whatever it is, it's never too late.
And you just brought up a good point, because someone may be thinking, well, it's too late for my marriage. I mean, what would you tell somebody who really thinks that this is it and they're at the end and that, it can't be restored? Maybe they've made some mistakes in the marriage. What advice would you give them? I
believe that the advice I would give someone, first take it to God.
Yes.
Go to God, because God can touch the heart of anyone. Once God touched the heart, then you can have a conversation and just be open and honest. But listen, I always say, whenever we do marriage counseling, I say this: if you got one person that's willing to make it work, you got a chance.
That's right.
One individual, because the thing about it is that now you cannot go against someone's own personal will.
Right. But if that person has God's backing,
hey.
And God has the power to what? Turn the heart
of the king.
Of the king. He has the power to turn that person's heart. So if you get your heart right and you begin to pray and take it to God instead of trying to do it in your own strength and just really allow God to do it, he has the power to turn that other person's heart back to you.
Yeah. So it might be someone out there that hear this broadcast later on tonight or tomorrow, whenever. You might feel like there's no hope on your marriage. But let me tell you, if that's a desire and that's the will of God, and it is the will of God for marriages to work,
right? Because
God was the one who created marriage.
Yes.
But I tell you is that don't give up. It's not too late. You can make it. And the thing about it is that, listen, all of us make mistakes.
Right.
But I've seen some of the biggest blessings and some of the most beautiful stories created out of messed up situations.
Yeah.
I've heard where women refuse to give up on their marriage. I refuse to give up on their child. It's not too late. Even if that person out there that might see this broadcast is in jail or in prison, it's not too late. Wherever you're at, you can make a difference.
That's right.
You can make a difference where you're in the church. You can make a difference where you're on your job. You can make a difference in the jail, on the streets, at the wherever. You can make a difference.
Make the best in whatever situation you are in. Because when you tap into God, He can change whatever the enemy meant for bad, He can turn it around for good. So Ronnie just brought up being in jail. If you're in jail, guess what? You can get close to God and look at the souls around you that you can win if you are willing to be used by God. So every situation, God can turn around for His good. The thing is, you got to not give up on yourself. That's the thing. You got to keep your hope in God and not give up on yourself. Because if you don't give up, and if you keep the faith, and if you keep hoping, then guess what? You're already halfway there. Because when God put the super on your natural, believe me, you can fly. You can fly.
So,
and it may be some folks out there running that thinks that it's too late to win over their kids. Maybe it's some men out there that haven't talked to their kids in a while. Maybe you made some mistakes in the past, and you just you feel like the mother, you and the mother are not together anymore. You feel like the mother has put all kind of bitterness in the child's heart. Well, guess what? That is no excuse for you to stop trying. That is no excuse. No matter what that parent or that other person has tried to put in those children's mind, you show them with your action who you are.
That's a good point. And it's never too late to say you're sorry to someone. The thing about it is this: as long as you got breath in your body, you can make it right.
That's right.
And then after you've taken the necessary steps to try to have peace or do the right things, it's up to the other individual after that. But as long as you can say in your heart, you did the right things.
Right.
It's never too late to just finish something you started. Like I was talking about school, it's so many people out there that started off going to college, started off doing, so many wonderful things. And then along the way, the trials and life and just the pressure of life made them stop. But get back up and keep pushing.
Yeah. It's not too late to even lose weight.
I need that.
You know what I'm saying?
I need to lose weight.
Here's the thing, guys. Maybe at this point you may be weighing more than, we all feel like we're weighing more than what we want to weigh, right? Yeah. But we can start today. We can make decisions today. Let me just drink more water. Let me just, even if I just give me a bike to put in my house, in which I just did that, to just start riding the bike, at least 20 minutes a day. Here's the thing. Some progress is progress. You can walk. You don't have to run. I mean, it's so many things that you can do. You can take baby steps toward your dreams, but at least you're moving forward and not just sitting still. Right?
Stagnated.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, this way, you think about a pond. A pond really can become stagnated because it's not life.
Mm-hmm.
And anything becomes stagnated, if you don't take care of it, it becomes what? There's a smell.
Mm-hmm.
But however, with a lake or a river is constantly moving, so it's life.
Mm-hmm.
So I say this right here: don't become stagnated.
Yeah.
Be like a river. Continue to move.
Yeah.
You know what? It might not be, today might be one of the days, but get back up and try again tomorrow. Because the thing about it, at the end of our life, what we don't want is to look back 10, 15, 20, 25 years from now and be like, man, you know what? I wish I had did this. I wish I had done that. Now is the time. And I'm going to challenge you tonight is to take that step forward. Don't give up. Don't look back. Move forward because it's not too late.
It's not too late. And it's not too late even for those who are believing God for healing. Just because you haven't seen the manifestation yet doesn't mean that it's too late. Don't give up. Don't give up on God. Don't give up on yourself. Keep moving, keep dreaming, keep hoping, keep having faith, keep confessing those positive words over your life.
Yes.
And if anybody tries to tell you something different, don't receive it.
Yes.
I do this all the time. I can be somewhere and somebody try to, say something negative, or, even if it's in a previous doctor's appointment or whatever the case may be. And if somebody says something that to me is contrary to the word of God concerning what his promises are to me, I don't receive it.
Yes, that's good.
And I don't be rude to the other person
But
unless it's somebody in my family, of course. But as far as to say, no, you can't speak that over me. I will say that to my family, but if it's somebody like a doctor or whatever, I might just say under my breath, oh, I don't receive
that.
I do not set myself in agreement with anything that's contrary to God's promises for me as his child.
Yes. And the last thing is this right here. It's never too late to restore your relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
That's just the most important thing. Listen, if you restore that relationship right there, everything else we talked about tonight will automatically work.
Oh, that's right.
It will just fall in place. And that's the most important piece of the puzzle.
That's right.
The puzzle of a life, the puzzle of getting back up again, the puzzle of moving forward, the puzzle of your marriage, successful family. It's a foundation, is Christ.
That's right.
And it's time for us to really step up as sons and daughters.
Yeah.
And to really walk in the fullness of the thing that God created us.
That's right.
Because at the end of our life, I think about this. I don't want to be, folks come and say, hey, he was an excellent husband. He was an excellent father. He was an excellent businessman. I want to be said, what he was known for? He loved God.
Yeah.
More than anything else in this world. So it's not too late to restore. If you need that relationship, just, simply repent of your sins, ask Jesus to come into your heart, to save you, to forgive you. And at that moment, you're in right standing, right fellowship, and you're right back in fellowship with God.
And be you. Don't try to be anybody else. Be yourself. Be who God has called you to be. Don't try to mimic somebody else. Don't look at somebody else covering, being covetousness of what they have. Be you and ask God what it is that he wants from you, what it is that he wants you to do, what it is that he has for you. Don't focus on nobody else. Just be yourself.
Because God created you. He was thinking about you only.
That's right.
He created all of us in his mind. So listen, thank you so much for joining in tonight.
Yeah.
Congratulations again to all of our 2021 graduates. We just pray God's blessings over you. Listen, this is going to be a beautiful weekend.
Yeah.
And I plan on having some fun and doing some fun things. And with that being said, Melody, I'm about to enjoy my weekend. What about you?
Let's do it.
Peace out.
Good night.